Pleasure that I announce the publication of Longitudes of Light by Nandita Bose, recently published by Atta Galatta books. I think we'll start by just formally launching the book. Yeah? A new book of poems is always a sign of hope, because someone, a human being, has put a certain amount of concentrated effort, whatever the long-term value of this piece of writing may be, into creating something of language that is of value because of the way language is used in it. It's a difficult thing, and one's first book takes a lot of courage. A second can sometimes take even more courage. Nandita has called her book Longitudes of Light, and we were discussing the geographical metaphor in the title. She says it has a lot to do with place, displacement, and the book is also divided into 3 sections, which are like longitudes. So, could you just tell us a bit about that connection, Nandita?
So, when I wrote this book, I kept returning to this one, thought that where does the poet actually exist? Yes, a poet exists in her book, a poet exists around her book, but is there somewhere else that she exists? And we do, I'm a mother, I'm a homemaker, I'm a pet owner, I write fiction. So, each of this is a different strand. But all the same, we belong somewhere else. And that's what I have tried to explore in this book. The somewhere elseness of being a poet.
Yeah, the somewhere elseness seems to be represented by the Greenwich meridian somewhere in you. A reference meridian is what you call it.
Yes.
And in some senses, if you live in Bangalore, then your reference meridian begins in Bangalore.
Of course, yes.
Not in London.
Yes.
Would you like to respond to that with a poem?
Oh, sure. So this I call Reimagine a City. Trees make a city as much as people do, even those marked to die when a road widens. All cities were forests once, water and seed, a primal potion in nature's walls. Each dawn, dim green bee-eaters weave newer skies. An avenue trees stitch citadels of sanity. For rains carve newer lakes in prehistoric. Oh God. I think I'll abandon this and find my specs and then read.
Why not in time?
I felt, I have forgotten my specs and I can do it, but no. Really sorry for this. This is so much better. For rains carve newer lakes in prehistoric sites through another secret city in dirt that root tips tunnel. Touch a bark for that ancient lamp to flow liquid, stronger than an oath, another bloodstream. People need grists of bees more than other people, peace and oxygen, firm roots to call home. A city of tabebuya. Do you know what tabebuya is? The cherry blossom trees that that Bangalore is famous for. Unfortunately, they are not cherry blossom trees, they're tabebuya. A city of tabebuya sunlit by whirring squirrels canopies for lovers, or heartbroken smoke.
Yeah, there was a phrase in that, citadels of sanity, I think, yeah, which struck out, like in your poems, you're clearly trying to let go of certain things, but simultaneously there's this very strong urge to hold on and stay contained and deal with a sense of displacement, redefinition through place. We were just having this discussion about how everyone's Greenwich meridian is where they live. But, or with reference to some other place where they lived earlier.
Right.
I will read one poem which I just read a little while ago. It's called Wind Drunk. The vagrant heart is mustard oil fluid, distillate of fume clouds. All of it comes from hopes for monsoons, for treetop safety nets, frenetic leaves, wind drunk, capricious. Who knows what roots may unveil for the moment, snagged kite-like on an outstretched branch, tremulous. Are all shelters illusion? Are promises life sentences? The heart holds vagrant thunder, soft as pulse beats. Clouds do as clouds must, burst. Nature and the city seem to play with one another a lot in your poems, yeah?
So, I really think the way we imagine cities are totally, disproportionate. I do wish that we would have 100 cities and not 5 or 6 large ones. And so if I were at the helm of things, like if I was the Prime Minister, there would be about 5 cities in a state that would be totally livable, because none of the cities are livable now, right? So, it's a harking to that. It's a way of, it's actually a cry for stopping progress as we see progress.
So the citadel of, what was that phrase? Sanity. Where is this citadel of sanity? Surely not in any of our urban centers. Is it the poem itself? Is the only citadel of sanity the poem? Because that's a pretty insane place as well.
So yeah, one keeps hoping to find a citadel of sanity. Some mornings we actually, within a city, we do find a citadel of sanity. And it's just a moment, it's just a cup of coffee, it's something, a phone call, and it becomes a citadel of sanity. And then, of course, the outsides rush in and the rest of the world rushes in. But the aspiration is to have a citadel of sanity. The aspiration is to constantly have citadels of sanity.
Okay, I don't think we have too much time. We're probably through with 15 minutes, but just a thought. Just the thing that most poets know, that there's a paradox around the word sanity when used in connection with poetry.
Oh, yes, yes.
So I think let's just leave that, end this on that note of paradox, which we explore no further.
Yes, because
Congratulations once again on your second book of verse. Please buy a copy. Longitudes of Light is available at the bookstore.